Welcome back, Nuggets. This mother clucker's got some thoughts. Let's ruffle some feathers and get into the video. And if you would like to support my baby chick of a channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hype this video. And go check out my other videos while you're here. Okay, so my nuggets, I yet again find myself right in between making multiple videos and something pops up and it just needs a really quick little bit of attention because this is the exact example. It could not have been better timing for my videos that I'm working on with her cycle of futility as to exactly the examples of Amber's, what I would consider Amber's worst traits, and basically how not to do them and why she shouldn't be doing them either. So don't worry, by the way, those are still coming. I am working on everything as fast as humanly possible. And don't forget, if you're listening to this before the 13th of November, which is my chuckin' first birthday, I have a question and answer up on my post tab. It'll be the second post you can see. So if you want to participate and have your questions featured in the live stream on the 13th, then head on over there and you can ask anything. So long as it's YouTube safe, I am an open book, my nuggets. Okay, so I was just, doing my housework duties, listening to an Oh Lordy, it's Geordie live stream, as you do, right? And he popped up with what I believe is an unseen video. Now, he did say in his live stream that he doesn't know who has this video. He just knows that he has this video. And as far as he was concerned, this is the first time we're seeing this video. But I really want to make sure that I'm crediting where credit is due. So if you, my nuggets, know that this exists somewhere else, I want to give them a shout out and give the credit where it should be. But at this stage, as far as I know, Oh Lordy, it's Geordie has broken this open. Now, before we do watch it, one thing that I really do want you to keep in mind is that it appears that Emily knows that she is recording, but Amber doesn't. Now, that is important because that immediately makes a power imbalance in this experience, right? Because Emily is going to know to put her best foot forward, whereas Amber doesn't necessarily, and potentially we're seeing a much more kind of natural response from Amber, which is quite frankly why it's so telling. Once again, Emily is being very smart about this because I said this about her Mr. Snowflake interview, and also, I suppose, with the Rachel stuff that went on as well, that she is putting herself forward as a very well thought out individual and with very well thought out answers, which is highly manipulative when you're going up against somebody like Amberlynn, who we know acts exclusively on emotion. So it is well played on her behalf. So I do not want anybody to think here that I am on Emily's side. Absolutely not. I've said it once. I've said it again. I think they are both highly toxic people and somehow they manage to multiply their toxicity when they're together. I think they're both giving as good as they get. I think neither one is the victim and neither one is the, at least, sole aggressor in this situation. And it's funny because this is what actually inspired me to offer Amberlynn an interview, which I think would have been a really good opportunity for her. But I've got to go back and check. One moment, please. I just wanted to go back and see who it was. So on my post, when I announced that I had offered Amberlynn this, it was Soul82 warned me against doing this and said she's only going to use you to try and get people to see her in a good light and not actually dig deep into her issues. Please think about this before poking the bear because it can definitely get messy. I pushed back saying that, I do what I do, but I want to give everybody a fair chance. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I am definitely not above saying when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And thank you, Soul82. I fully see where you're coming from. And I retracted my offer to give her an interview because I agree. I don't think there's anything productive that will come out of it. I think it would have been telling, but yeah, no, we're not going there because I did have a plan. If Amber didn't respond to me, I was going to go to Emily. And then all of this stuff went down with Rachel. And now I'm very glad that I did not do that. Although, to be fair, I wouldn't have offered her money. So who knows where that would have gone. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to watch the video in its entirety first, and then I want to go through it and break down what is going on here and why this video is so much more insidious than it seems on the surface. So the video is almost 4 minutes. It's not much at all, but my goodness, does it speak 1,000 words.
I'm going crazy because it's like
You kind of are.
I'm trying to have a genuine conversation with you, and I'm just wondering, why can't we both have bad days? Why is it just you're allowed to have them?
Why do you need to sit here and continue to yell at me? Why can't you go inside like I asked you and give me a little bit of space?
I can give you space. I just want to hug.
Give me. I don't want to hug you right now. I just don't.
Okay, fine. Can we just like wrap it up with like a good vibes, like, because I don't have emotional permanence. I literally don't. Which means when I walk away...
So I have to suffer because of that.
No, I'm saying when I walk away, I'm left with what just happened. And that's what I firmly believe our whole relationship is based off of. So if you just tell me you love me...
Okay, you don't need to explain your unhealthy way of thinking.
Well, a little bit. It's a little unhealthy, I guess.
Very unhealthy.
Okay. I like to leave the conversation with something positive, because I don't like how this is affecting us. Like, you've had a really bad day.
Can you please give me some space? I'm asking nicely.
Yes, but can you answer a question for me? Why is it okay for you to backtrack?
How is this ending it nicely, Amberlynn?
No, because I think
I'll leave you with this. But why?
No,
Seriously?
I guess I want you to reflect. Why is it okay for you to backtrack and have a bad day so bad that you kind of take it out on me all day long, and then I finally pop off because it just became a lot, because I also had my own separate bad day. So why is it okay for you to have a bad day, but I'm not?
I didn't say you weren't allowed to, but you sitting here doing this to me when I'm telling you to please stop is not okay.
Okay, your bad day...
Amberlynn, stop!
But your bad day was met with, at the end of the night, I still wanted to hold you. That's what I was looking forward to.
I was going to. I needed a little space first.
Okay, but can I tell you what my bad day's met with? You're going back to Oklahoma. So do you see the difference?
Because you continue to do this to me over and over again. Back up then, like I asked you to. Or just better, go inside, please. Give me some space. Amberlynn, this is ridiculous. Go inside. Please, I'm not gonna be able to calm down until you please go away for a little bit.
Okay, can you just reflect on, like, why
I will reflect. Okay, I'm sorry.
Do you really want to break up?
I don't know. I don't have time to space to think. Please go inside and give me space. Please go inside and give me space.
Can I have a kiss? I'm not here to hurt you, Emily. I just want you to love me. I love you. And I'm sorry, but I love you, okay?
Please go inside. I love you too.
I'm sorry. Do you accept my apology?
Yes.
I know this shouldn't have happened. I'm fully aware. But I am getting better. And that's without help. And that's only in a few days. I just want you to think of the positive things. Okay. I just feel bad. I'm sorry.
Please give me space. That's all I'm asking for.
Okay, so how did that make you feel? Have you ever been in a situation like this? You don't have to own up to it. I just kind of looking for reflection on this. Have you ever come up against either of these people in a relationship? And not necessarily a romantic one, but just any relationship. I have. I've been one of these people, and I am very disappointed to say that I was Amberlynn in this scenario. I have, as you know, have spent a great deal developing myself and reflecting on myself and realizing that I have been a cloaca in my past and, developed from there and corrected my actions. And it's uncomfortable to talk about, to acknowledge that about myself, that I've been there. But who are we but a collection of mistakes and learnings and Yes, onwards and upwards. So let's break this down because I think I do actually have some perspective on this that hopefully will be enlightening and a little bit different compared to what everybody else has to bring to the table.
Going crazy because it's like I'm trying.
Okay, so I just wanted to pause this here. Now she's saying she feels like she's crazy, which, that's the opener to this particular interaction. So the context is it sounds like there's been an argument before this interaction, quite a serious one, because she mentioned, do you really want to break up and that kind of thing. So clearly we're talking about a relationship breaking argument of some description. I don't know what night this is. I don't know if this is like, the rarity night or anything like this, but Emily has gone into her car to have some space. We know that from previous interactions that she deals with conflict by wanting to create some space so that she can cool off and theoretically have a bit more of a rational conversation after the fact. We also know that Amber, self-professed, is the kind that follows and follows and follows and won't let anything go because she feels that she needs to get it sorted, and it doesn't matter what anybody else needs. It matters what Amber needs. So you can actually see in this still here that Emily is inside her car and Amber is approaching from outside the car. So Emily's clearly gone to what she perceives as her safe space, and now Amber is encroaching on that safe space.
Kind of are.
I'm trying to have a genuine conversation with you, and I'm just wondering, why can't we both have bad days? Why is it just you're allowed to have them?
Why do you need to sit here and continue to yell at me? Why can't you go inside like I asked you and give me a little bit of space?
So Emily here is clearly just reiterating the boundaries that she had put up, saying, I've had a bad day. I need some space from this. Please just let me have my moment. I'll have my cigarette and I will calm down. This is the boundary that I am setting up that I want you to respect. And what Amber does,
I can give you space. I just want to hug.
and Amber's response is, I can give you space, I just want a hug, which is essentially saying, yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I hear the words that are coming out of your mouth. I don't really care about that. I want to run my own agenda. And even though you need space, I need the opposite of that. So give me a hug. When you approach a relationship that I know that they're not living together and they're not living their lives together at this point, but a relationship in essence that at least gets to that level is supposed to be a partnership. And that means a respect of what each other needs. Now, in certain situations like this, both parties are not going to get exactly what they need in exactly that moment. And I feel like that's what Amber is not able to understand. It's like, okay, there's going to be a little bit of delayed gratification here. You will get your conversation. It's just she needs to make sure that she is in a headspace to be able to deal with it, because you expect her to deal with all of your emotions and all of your feelings and all of your wants. And so she needs to make sure that she gets into a headspace to be able to deal with that, but you're not going to allow that to happen. And to ask for a hug in that moment, my feeling is with Amber, this is probably, I would say, the second or third manipulative tactic that she tries to employ with people. And I would say the first one is out and out dominance, which is just saying, I want you to do this, I want you to do that, I want you to make me feel this way. I want. And then if there's pushback on that, she will bring out the quote unquote BPD tantrum. Please note, I know that there's a lot of BPD nuggets in my audience. I don't actually buy that Amber has BPD. She has herself said she's undiagnosed. So I am saying that with an air of sarcasm, just in case my tone is not portraying that properly. I don't at all think that you are like her. Just highlighting that. And I think when the rage or the tantrum doesn't work, I think that's when she falls back to this kind of meek, just hug me, please make me feel better. I didn't mean to hurt you. I love you and I'm sorry, that kind of thing. And so I would say that it's probably the third tactic that she employs. Where I went with my rarity video, if you haven't seen that, is that I think that after a few stages of manipulation, she got to the extreme with the rarity situation and how I think that went down. So at least we haven't escalated that far yet, right?
Give me. I don't want to hug you right now. I just don't.
Okay, fine. Can we just like wrap it up with like a good vibes? Like, because I don't have emotional permanence. I literally don't. Which means when I walk
So
away,
I have to suffer because of that.
So Amber is essentially saying, okay, I want to feel okay in this situation because right now I don't feel good and I want you to make me feel good, even though I know it's going to be at the expense of your well-being. I want you to make me feel good. And that's why she wants the physical intimacy. That's why she wants, some sort of closure. But it's like sometimes in life, we just have to deal with not feeling good in the moment, knowing that there will be something coming along a little bit down the track. Like there probably would have been closure to this argument had she have not pushed in this moment, right? It's just she needs to sit there not feeling good for a little while, which is something that she has no capacity to do because she has not built any coping mechanisms. And this is why I say, I know this so well. I know this so well for a very embarrassing reason. And I have absolutely put my husband through this, and the clucking saint that he is, saw me through all of my development and gave me the space to be able to take control and responsibility of my own feelings and brain and everything that goes along with that. And he was very patient with it, which you can see would be very difficult. I can proudly say this has not been me in years. So I am at least saying that. This is very uncomfortable to confess to the internet, but it's for a good reason. It might help someone. Okay, so at the end of that clip, you heard her say, I don't have emotional permanence. So emotional permanence is a kind of like object permanence, but she's using it in an emotional state. Now, I also struggled with this, but never once did I say, I have emotional permanence. It's like, when she said in a live stream about her excoriation, oh, I've had that since I was knee high to a grasshopper, like, no, it's a habit. You don't have it. You don't accept this about yourself. It's something you're supposed to work on. And emotional permanence is one of those. So I just wanted to bring up some points because you know how this mother clucker loves to do a little bit of research, and I needed to do just a tiny bit for this video. So I found this article on a site called Very Well Mind. Now, this article is not written by a psychologist, but it was reviewed by one, and I really liked that about it. I'll put the links below, by the way, if you want to look. But it had some really good examples of what emotional permanence is and basically what it feels like for the person. So, and I quote, this is from the website, emotional permanence is exactly that, a permanent state of emotion, something we trust not to change even when we aren't presented with it at a given moment. We learn object permanence as part of our cognitive development. That's important, I'll come back. That is the idea that if you close your eyes right now, you will understand that your device is still there in front of you, even though you can't see it. Emotional permanence may not come as naturally to everyone, so it's important to learn how you can begin to cultivate it in your life. With introspection and building trust in your relationships, you can become more comfortable and confident that your loved ones do in fact love you, even when they aren't saying it. So in my experience, I always kind of became convinced that, oh no, they said they loved me in that moment, but something might have changed, right? So nothing was persistent for me, and I struggled with that quite a lot, looking back on it quite badly. But the important word there, or words there, is cognitive development. So what that means is this is not a neurological issue. This is a behavioral issue. And when something is a behavioral issue, it means that you can work on it. Well, I mean, to a point, even neurological issues you can work on, but behavioral ones absolutely can be worked on. Now, you might have a condition that, and maybe Amber does, that makes it difficult to do that, but not impossible. It just means that maybe you need to work a little bit harder or work a little bit more to understand your brain and how it works. And that's definitely what I needed to do. They go on to say some people are prone to having a harder time with these abstract concepts, such as how people with borderline personality disorder have been shown to lack object permanence. Additionally, people with anxious attachment style may have a difficult time establishing emotional permanence. Now, I popped that in there because it did mention borderline personality specifically, but it's also been linked to things like ADHD, but mostly, and probably what I would say in Amber's situation, is it's linked to childhood trauma, right? She did not have the stable parental figure there during her formative years. The connection that you're supposed to learn these lessons from. So it makes sense that that may not have developed into the actual behavior that we would expect to see in an adult, right? That part's not her fault. What she does with it moving forward is, and using it as saying something like, this is what I have, is using it as an excuse. And so Emily saying, so I have to suffer for that, is kind of the right idea. Why is it Emily's responsibility to work around a lesson that Amber has not learned in her life? It's almost like what comes to mind. I know this is an extreme example, but it's almost like if nobody ever taught you how to brush your teeth, and then you turn around to your partner and say, oh no, I can't eat the meal you've just made me. You need to make me something different because my teeth are rotting out of my head and it hurts. Like, how is that the partner's fault? It's just, it's so wild to put that on your partner, and it's so incredibly unfair. And I do understand, and especially in Emily's case where we know she's a psych nurse, so she's dealing with mental health conditions, probably much more severe ones on a day-to-day basis. And then she was expected to come home and deal with this like it's her job. And that would be challenging. So what does it mean to lack emotional permanence? And these do sound like exactly like Amberlynn. You don't trust how others feel when they aren't there. Validation and reassurance are strong needs for you. Your emotions are unstable. You engage in doomsday thinking. Regulating your emotions is a challenge. Your feelings fluctuate a lot. It's hard for you to believe how others feel about you, and you lack trust in others. And this is what kind of makes me think that Amber doesn't have BPD, but just childhood trauma that has been completely unaddressed and allowed to run rampant in her life, because these are things that she blames on BPD. But these are not exclusively BPD symptoms. But the most important thing here is this article and many others have whole sections on how you develop emotional permanence. This is not something that you just have to live with. This is not just something that is you or part of your personality. This is a lesson that Amber has not learned in order to make her adult life stable. This is supposed to be developed in childhood. It's absolutely okay. I did it in my 30s if that's what you need to do, and that's what she needs to do. But it is something that needs to be learned, and it's just a practice thing. That's all. Nothing too strenuous there. Just to add a couple more examples, I did find a psychotherapist explaining the same thing. And he said, quote, if you were lucky, you grew up in a home that felt safe and secure, and you internalized that sense of security. If so, then you will have a core sense of emotional permanence within you. If you didn't grow up in such a place, then your task is to develop that sense of emotional permanence within you. I could not have said it better myself. That is just, but so it's completely within one's control to do this. Even if your brain is going to make it a little bit more difficult, that's okay. You do it, because this is how you have a healthy relationship, not just a romantic one, but friendships and working relationships and everything. This is so critical. And finally, this site was called Better Up. This one is not written by a psychologist. It is written by a counselor, but they did speak about borderline personality specifically. So I just wanted to bring that up. Borderline personality disorder impacts your ability to control your emotions. It is thought to stem from trauma or neglect and result in fear of abandonment and unstable relationships. But see, like I say, that is not just borderline personality disorder. That can just be childhood trauma and nothing more. If you have borderline personality disorder, you may have a fragile sense of self. You might fear your loved ones don't love you and will abandon you. This is a perfect example of a lack of emotional permanence. So just for Amber's sake, I popped that one in there. Just, giving her the benefit of the doubt. But so this is what she's saying. Essentially, this thing that I can absolutely learn myself is your responsibility, Emily, to fix and deal with and do it now. Even though I know you need space, even though I know that you've set up this boundary, do it for me now. Now, so after all of that ranting that I just did, if you remember right at the end of the clip, I'll just play it again.
Which means when I walk
So
away...
I have to suffer because of that.
Amber starts to explain what emotional permanence is, like a psych nurse wouldn't know. And Emily cuts her off saying, so that's my problem to deal with. Amber really wants to run her agenda, and this is how much she wants to run her agenda. She wasn't pleased that she got cut off and needed to continue speaking it anyway.
No, I'm saying when I walk away, I'm left with what just happened. And that's what I firmly believe our whole relationship is based off of. So if you just tell me you love me...
Okay, you don't need to explain your unhealthy way of thinking.
You don't need to explain your unhealthy way of thinking. So Emily knows exactly what this is and the fact that it should just be a lesson that Amber needs to learn. Now, when I say it is not your partner's responsibility to fix how you feel, it's really not. It's not their job if they want to support you. And that's lovely. That really is. And it definitely helps. If they want to, that's great. But it's not their job. And this entitlement that Amber is bringing to the table, and this is not the first example that we've seen of this, it's definitely not the first example that I've clocked her on, is totally entitled into thinking that Emily should fix this for her. Make me feel good because I feel bad right now.
Well, a little bit. It's a little unhealthy, I guess.
Very unhealthy.
Okay.
I don't know if I would say, I don't think I would address, to my past self, for example, that this is unhealthy. I think what it is just a gap in life lessons that the parenting didn't achieve like it should have, because we are not born with the ability to have emotional permanence. We are born with the ability to be able to connect with our caregivers. That's our brains are kind of set up for that. And there's a lot of hormones that are involved in also the parents then becoming attached as well. But it is really literally just a gap in learning. It's just kind of like having missed a lesson at school, right? It's a gap that needs to be addressed in adulthood because it does impact your adulthood.
I like to leave the conversation with something positive.
So again, I don't care about what you need. I don't care about the boundaries you're setting up. I like to leave the conversation with something positive. So it's even in that sentence, she's not even saying it's a need. It's just what she wants. She wants this because she doesn't like to feel bad. And also that self-soothing is also not a lesson that we're born with. That's supposed to be something that we develop within ourselves. I would argue parents probably should teach it, but I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people consciously know that they're self-soothing when they're self-soothing. So this is also something that Amber has never bothered to learn for herself because she's always had people around her willing to bend to her will, or at least being coerced into bending to her will to fix things for her. So this is, at the moment, Amber having such cognitive dissonance because she's like, okay, but everybody fixes this for me and you're the person here. You are my person here. My person fixes things. Why are you my person here and you are not fixing things, right? And meanwhile, Emily is here doing her version of self-soothing, which is going to a nice, quiet, solitary place and having a cigarette. Gross, but you do you. And that's her self-soothing. But Amber's not allowing her to go through that motion of self-soothing.
Because I don't like how this is affecting us. Like,
Okay.
You've had a really bad day.
Can you please give me some space? I'm asking nicely.
Yes, but can you answer a question for me?
Can you please give me some space? Yes, but can you please answer a question for me? It's just, It is such a bulldozing of boundaries that is so incredibly entitled and disrespectful. And again, I am not on Emily's side here. I'm just highlighting from because two things can be true at once, guys, you know? Both parties can be cloacas in this case. But it's just such a clear disrespect of Amber's partner's boundaries that are being set up. This right here should be a deal breaker for a relationship because the willingness to bulldoze your partner's boundaries speaks volumes about your respect for them, your value for them, the partnership itself. It's just so toxic, and it's one of those insidious things that would absolutely get in and erode the foundation of a relationship. Because now Emily's sitting here going, well, what about what I need? I need to be still, and I need to be quiet, and I need to be alone.
Why is it okay for you to backtrack?
How is this ending it nicely, Amberlynn?
No, because I think
But
I
wait,
want you
I'll
to
leave you with this.
reflect.
But why? No,
I guess I want you to reflect.
And so what Amber said at the end there, I just want you to reflect. So she's bulldozed through the boundary. And I think this is where I think probably Emily, knowing that she's recording it, I think she's really holding back here because I think it would be an appropriate response to kind of get defensive of your own boundary being violated in that way. And Amber is just absolutely railroading this situation, just trying to run her agenda. I just want to do this. I just want to do that. And absolutely just getting these questions out without any regard for anybody else's feeling in the world.
Why is it okay for you to backtrack and have a bad day so bad that you kind of take it out on me all day long? And then I finally pop off because it just became a lot.
And so right here, this is absolutely telling the truth. Amber came out saying, I just want a hug. I just want it to make it feel better. No, Amber's actual agenda here is to continue the argument because she wanted to follow and she wanted to continue to argue about whatever they're arguing about and run her own agenda like that. But that's why I say this kind of meek little, I love you and I'm sorry, you know, that kind of thing. That is a manipulation tactic to try and weasel into getting what she wants, which in this situation clearly is continuing the argument. And Emily probably knows this. This is probably not the first time this has happened in this way. Why else would she know to be filming?
Became a lot because I also had my own separate bad day. So why is it okay for you to have a bad day, but I'm not?
I didn't say you weren't allowed to, but you sitting here doing this to me when I'm telling you to please stop is not okay.
And that is a very rational way of saying this. And again, absolutely, Emily is very manipulative herself. She's recording this. Maybe, I mean, honestly, I kind of wondered if it was because she knew that she was going to go to reaction channels, but it could also just be that she had this person living in her house that she wanted to get out and couldn't get rid of them. And she might be creating an evidence chain that's like time stamped so that if she needs to go to the police or if she needs to start eviction proceedings and things like that, there's a log of issues. So potentially, I think that's probably the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, she's getting reaction channel content, which I don't know. I wouldn't put it past her, but I don't know. But I think the way that's said is, this is not okay, is absolutely the right wording to say. This is not okay. This is horrific partner dynamics and very toxic partner dynamics going on. And when I hit play, just pay attention to the very first thing that Amber says. Emily just said, this is not okay.
Okay, your bad day,
Amberlynn, stop.
but your bad day was met with, at the end of the night, I still wanted to hold you. That's what I was looking forward to.
I was going to. I needed a little space
Okay,
first.
but can I tell you what my bad day's met with? You're going back to Oklahoma. So do you see the difference?
Because you continue to do this to me over and over again.
Yeah, straight into continuing to run her agenda. So there's talk here of her going back to Oklahoma. It does make me wonder if this is anywhere near the rarity night. It really does. Or was this a continual thing? And if you remember when I was first covering, like when I first started to be a reaction channel and I had a baby egg of a channel, I thought this was the situation. I thought Emily wanted her to go home and Amber was like buried in like a tick. But having said that, Emily is not innocent in this either because she's gone back and forth with Amber, knowing full well who Amber is at this point. So, like, who knows? This is so clucking messy. It's so messy.
Back up then, like I asked you to. Or just better, go inside, please. Give me some space. Amberlynn, this is ridiculous. Go inside. Please, I'm not gonna be able to calm down until you please go away for a little bit.
Okay, can you just reflect on like why?
I will reflect. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
It's like, okay, I'll do what you're asking me to do, but can you please reflect? Make sure you reflect on what you did wrong, because I'm over here hurting. I'm going away like you want, but you reflect. Okay, I didn't actually go that far. Like, I will own up to my bad behavior. I didn't go that far. That's yeah.
Do you really want to break up?
I don't know. I don't have time to space to think. Please go inside and give me space. Please go inside and give me space.
Can I have a kiss?
And if you didn't catch that there, the very meek little sentence was, "Can I have a kiss?" This is 100% a manipulation tactic to getting what she wants. So what's happened here is, if I'm right, if this is the third iteration of her manipulation tactic, going from complete dominance to BPD tantrum, quote unquote BPD tantrum, to meek and please just love me, so what's happened there, she's gone to her third stage, or whatever number, it doesn't really matter, but she's gone to that stage. And then when she felt like she was just getting a little bit of wiggle room within that, like it was just starting to work, she started pushing her agenda again to continue to discuss the argument that they're having. And then Emily is shutting her down every time. Really, Emily should have just kind of shut down this whole conversation and not entertained it this far, but that probably would have escalated to the next technique that Amber has in her arsenal of manipulation tactics. But now that there's been pushback, she's reverted back to that stage again. Can I have a kiss? It's highly manipulative. It's calculated and it is well practiced.
I'm not here to hurt you, Emily. I just want you to love me.
So I'm not sure. I think Emily did lean in for the kiss, but Amber's saying, I'm not here to hurt you. I just want you to love me. So this is all in that kind of meek vein of things, the feel sorry for me, I'm pathetic and I need help, that kind of thing. Because she saw that was working. So now we need to up the ante on that just a little bit, just a bit.
I love you. And I'm sorry, but I love you, okay?
I hate that. I hate that so much. And I will say I didn't do this either. She said, I'm sorry, which is good. But then she followed it up with, I'm sorry that I love you. This is, she constantly goes around in circles of why we say she's not taking responsibility. This is why. Because the correct thing to say was, I'm sorry, I know that I've done the wrong thing here. I see that I've done, X, Y, and Z. I am going to make a concerted effort to work on this so that we don't get back here again. And then Emily would probably, if she's any sort of a decent human being, turn around and say, yeah, look, this is where my fault was. And I really appreciate you acknowledging yours. This is where my part was to play, and I'm going to work on that too, so that we can both move in growth, moving together as a couple. But to pull out the I'm sorry that I love you, that's just, it's such a cop-out and it's such a nasty play. And this, based on just this interaction, if I didn't know anything else, I would say this relationship is never going to work. It's doomed because of this dynamic.
Please go inside. I love you too.
Sorry, do you accept my apology?
Yes.
And I think at this point, Emily's just like, I need the space. I need to just say whatever it takes to get her to go inside, which is a little bit hostagey, isn't it? It's like you say whatever you need to your captors to ensure survival. It's a bit. Ugh.
I know this shouldn't have happened. I'm fully aware. But I am getting better. And that's without help. And that's only in a few days. I just want you to think of the positive things. Okay.
Okay, so she started off this bit well, and I've replayed this over and over, and I'll have to get you to tell me what you think, because she started out saying, I know this shouldn't have happened. That's a good thing to say. And then she says, but I am getting better, which is kind of Amber's fallacy to herself, because she's not actually gotten better in all of the years that we've known her. So I don't know what metric she's using for getting better. But this next bit, I can't quite make out what she says.
And that's without help. And that's only in a few days. And that's without help. And that's only in a few days.
Because it sounds like she says, and that's without help. And that's only in a few days. So does that mean that she's been improving without help? And then it kind of sounds like there's some manner of therapy in a few days? Do you hear the same thing? I can't, it doesn't make sense. There's context missing, I think, or maybe she misspoke. But that would imply that they've been having this conversation about her improving her quote unquote BPD tantrums for some time. And we know that when she was in Wisconsin, she was trying to find a therapist there, but then obviously Emily kicked her out and she didn't go. Or was this what Emily was trying to say in her screenshots that she sent to Rachel, I think? Or maybe it was Mr. Snowflake, I've forgotten, where Emily kind of implied that Amber was kind of dangling therapy like a bait, like saying, no, I'm going to get help. It'll all be all right. I don't know. Tell me what you think about that bit, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I just feel bad. I'm sorry.
Please give me space. That's all I'm asking for.
Okay, and then we see that in the mirror, Amber has left, so she obviously did give Emily at least some space, I guess. So what Amber now is going to be thinking, because it sounds like her meek, I'm sorry, I love you, thing worked because Emily backed off, but we can kind of see that Emily backed off because she just really wants Amber to go. Amber will be interpreting this as, this fight is resolved now. We have completed it and everything is okay, and now we are back in a state of loving each other and we can move forward. Meanwhile, Emily will be sitting there going, this is disturbing. This is not over. She has not learned anything, right? So there's going to be a complete disconnect there between the two of them as to how this actually finished. And what might be concerning, I would bet money, if we could talk to Emily, and we're not going to, my nuggets, we are not going to talk to Emily. I reckon she would say that after she got out of the car and went back in that house, Amber was probably in a fantastic mood. And it was probably like nothing ever happened. I would put money on that. And I am not a betting token. So you can see why this example is so indicative of what I'm trying to say in my series that I'm doing on her at the moment. And it's just everything is so about how Amber feels, what Amber wants. And everybody else really is not factoring to her at all. And I don't think anybody in her life, or at least anyone that she respected enough to listen to, has told her that this is obscene activity. This is not okay. This is not how we adult. This is a major learning gap in your psyche that you need to address, that BPD might, if she has it, might make it a little more challenging, but it does not stop it from happening. This is your responsibility, Amber. You need to learn how to do this. And at 35 next month, you're old enough to do it. It's time. It is time to learn this. Because even if you appeal to her her sense of self and, her entitlement and everything, her self-centeredness. If you learn this, life gets a lot easier and relationships get a lot better and doors start opening up for you because you don't come off as a self-centered piece of shit, because guaranteed people can see this straight away. This is not being masked well. It would enrich her life so much to learn this skill. And look, learning these skills, it's not easy. It is practice. It does take time, but just like any other skill, it's literally just practice. You catch the thoughts, you correct the thoughts, you engage in behaviors and scenarios that disprove your lack of emotional permanence, so that you can say to your brain, see, no, this, see this, yes, this, so that there's proof there and you're not just caught in this loop of angst all the time. But it's an important one. But tell me what you think, my nuggets. If you're still here listening, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. And a big thank you to my cluckers. I appreciate you so deeply. I know I keep promising there is members only content coming. It's a research monster. But yeah, I'm getting there. I am at the moment about to embark on somewhat of a ridiculous creation schedule. So hopefully I'll get out of this little clog situation that I've got going on with so many videos being made. But yes, thank you. Thank you so much for your patience. But that's all the clucks I have left to give. Stay golden, my little nuggets, and I'll catch you next time.
Hey, 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 hey! I'm gonna go watch another video. Let's go!